My name is Abbie. I'm deeply passionate about all things wild and have made it my mission to explore and document many of the world's most stunning landscapes through human-powered adventure.
Each quest is totally unique. Some traverse exposed moorlands and rugged mountaintops. Others whiz through bustling market towns and historical cities. They see me dive down deep amongst marine life, follow world-renowned archaeological discoveries, and travel through some of the most tranquil valleys and mystical forests accessible on foot. My goal is always one of discovery and awareness. Getting outside is now more important than ever before, with obesity rates maintaining record highs and mental health issues affecting over 1 in 4 individuals. In building an archive of films, I aim to leave you looking for a challenge, ready to break free from the monotony of everyday life and be inspired by nature enough to want to give back. Ultimately, I want to see you don your adventure boots and spend more time in the wild for the benefit of mental and physical health. I've realised that sometimes you don't have to do something crazy or radical to change how you feel about your life. You just have to get up and get out. I face my own trials with mental ill health and chronic pain, as no doubt you'll see throughout my travels. But alongside building a strong support network, getting outside and taking the time to reconnect with nature has helped me move further along the road of personal discovery. So, here's me inviting you to join me on my adventures as I explore this awe-inspiring planet. There will be hardships along the way, and we're not guaranteed to succeed, but it takes a brave heart and a courageous soul to commit to the unknown. Now all you have to do is decide that you want it more than you are afraid of it. Are you ready? Let's go.
Good morning everybody and welcome to the outskirts of Reykjavik. Yes, I'm here in Iceland and I am about to begin my first ever Icelandic hiking adventure. See the taxi to arrive first. Here's my man, sassy man. Smashing. I love it when things go to plan. BSI bus terminal. Let's go find where we gotta go. Here we go, this is the hub.
For most heading out to hike in Iceland, the BSI bus terminal is where it all begins. It was a bubble of excited energy when I arrived, and after loading up and boarding, I sat back to enjoy what would turn out to be a thrilling journey from urban life with its concrete and street lamps to an environment filled with contrasts.
Little rucksack. Welcome to the land of fire and ice. I am in Iceland and I'm about to commence one of my first ever hiking adventures here in Iceland itself, and of course it had to be the Laugavegur It's a very popular trail for a reason, I have heard, and I'm going to be adding on the additional day down to Skogar. You can see the weather is beautiful. We've journeyed from Reykjavik, 4-hour bus journey. Here's the buses right here, look. And now we're at Landmannalaugar. Gosh, my Icelandic pronunciation is going to be awful on this trip, but I'm going to do my best to work and tidy it up throughout the duration. So I'm going to be hiking for 5 days in total, and basically now that we've arrived here, I'm just going to take a wee moment to get myself grounded, have a little look around, queue for the toilet because that's got to be done, and then we'll commence our hike. But we are going to be having river crossings, bubbling pools of boiling water. There's going to be mountains, there's going to be snow, there's going to be wind, there's going to be ash, there's going to be lava, there's going to be things I've never encountered before, and I can already tell you categorically this trail is going to leave me changed, because even just getting here has been a mammoth mission of overcoming of obstacles, and it just feels surreal. It feels absolutely surreal. Like, I'm already stood in a landscape unlike anything I've ever stood in. The nearest sort of volcanic experience I've ever had is standing on top of Kilimanjaro, the roof of Africa, and whilst this is similar, it's really not. So, 5 days of hiking. It's going to be one serious adventure. Hope you guys are looking forward to joining me. Let's get the show on the road.
Landmannalaugar sits within the Fjallbak Nature Reserve, an area of desolate and wild beauty. It's also a bit of a tent city, made up of a 110-bed hut, campground with facilities, and a search and rescue base. It's here that many head off to hike local trails and summits, such as Landmannalaugar at 945 metres above sea level, and Brennisteinsalda, the Sulphur Wave. But more on that later. As a side note, I'm going to struggle pronouncing a lot of the locations on this hike, so I'll put the name in the corner of the screen and you can do your own pronunciation research from there. Before setting off, I just had to snoop around the famous mountain mall, comprised of 3 large green buses. One was a makeshift cafe, and the other a well-stocked little store, helpful if you've accidentally forgotten some supplies. Honestly, the area felt magical, and the impending sense of a grand adventure pulled me forwards.
This is the queue for this, the toilet. Beautiful. Alright, so we're leaving camp behind. I've let some of the crowds walk on, and this is it, my first tentative steps on the Laugavegur Trail. If I just turn the camera around, this is how surreal this place is. So we've got a sort of snow cavey thing going on here, and you can see the steam coming up from the ground here as well. This is literally a geothermal pool. This is warm water. I'm going to cross a plank of wood and head on into the highlands. This is incredible. Hi. Two steps on and we can see that path then clear. So we're going up here. Although it's very tempting to want to go under this. And just like that, we're leaving camp behind. We've come over the brow and now we are in the caldera. Yes, essentially a giant volcanic system. We're going to be walking through this caldera for the majority of today and into tomorrow before we sort of come back over the brow and into the lowlands surrounded by the mountains. But anyway, that's much further down the trail. I feel like I can't breathe for the surrealness of this beautiful, beautiful landscape. Just got to force myself to walk real slow, take it all in, one step at a time. So you saw how busy it was back at camp. Loads of people just come out for a day hikes around here, as we talked about, and climbing sort of Rainbow Mountain, as I'm now officially calling it. I don't know if I made that up or if that's a thing, but anyway, this whole stretch of path is all fenced off, and that's to either just try and prevent erosion and minimise the environmental footprint literally on the surrounding lands. This has a very, very thin topsoil. The sort of, it's not quite permafrost, it's tundra around here, and sort of very low-lying vegetation that's easily damaged. So it's best if we stick on one path and leave as little a trace as possible.
Brennisteinsalda, aka the Rainbow Wave Mountain, as I was now apparently calling it, was a striking volcano that hovered above the path. It's made up of many pastel colours of sulphur, plus green from mosses and blue and black from lava and ash, as well as red from iron in the earth. It's these colours that make it one of the most photographed mountains in the country, and to be honest, it was easy to see why.
Here we are, look, that's our destination. If you can pronounce that, well done. But that's where we're going. So now we're going to be climbing for a little bit next to the Rainbow Wave Mountain, and should probably from the other side start to peter out a little bit with the number of people around. But having said that, I don't really mind it. Everyone's very friendly and from all over the world, so it makes for good conversations. Now I'm expecting, slash hoping, there's going to be plenty more of this white stuff about on this trail. For now, we have a wee splat, I think.
Looming behind me was Blanukka summit, watching my progress as I moved forwards, its great ashy mound filling the horizon. Its name actually translates as Blue Peak, due to the blue-black volcanic ash and lava flows that comprise its flanks.
This seems to be where it gets interesting. It's been really boring so far. We just have loads of steam coming out of the ground. Mind blown. So, this sulphur smelling steam is one of the reasons why Iceland is one of the greenest planets in the world, in the sense that they have all of this geothermal activity, so heat generated from the volcanic activity underneath the ground, and you can harness that and you can turn it into electricity, or onto me, water vapour. That's going to make me quite cold. I'm not going to hang around here for too long.
These vents, or fumaroles, within this fumarole field were expelling hot steam and other gases from openings in the Earth's surface, and they made for a mesmerising experience. A random and cool fact is that Iceland can and does grow bananas in greenhouses powered and warmed by geothermal power. Apparently, the country aims to keep plants growing simply for the status of being a banana-growing country, saying a lot about the cultural sense of humour. I just love Iceland, don't you? On I walked, passing stunning blue pools and striking spires and pillars likely formed during eruptions in the late 1400s.
As you can see behind me, there's a pretty good view, and for me, as my evidence, there's definitely a lot of uphill from the car park. Feels good. Here we go. So this is the split point. People going this way are going to the top of the mountain. People going this way, aka me, are hiking the Laugavegur. So I'm expecting to be a little bit more alone now. I'll wave goodbye to everybody. It was a little disconcerting to leave everybody behind, but I knew it was coming at some point. Well, people's voices definitely echo loud enough. Phew, and there's some people in front of me. Reality is, just follow the red markers, and all will be fine. Red markers. Got it. My friends. Kind of hoping this is stable, because it's a bit of a bridge and I'm just stood on it. Okay, let's go. Ah! I just can't quite comprehend where I am, because I have never set foot in a place like this. Just the volcanic foregrounds and the multicoloured backgrounds, the snow on the browns, on the greens, on the blacks, and the dramatic sky to bring it all in as an image. It's just... what is it? What is this? I don't know. Where the frick am I? This is just the most mind-blown I think I found myself in a long, long time. And I'm here in real life, you know, the very tactile living experience. I can touch the ground, I can breathe in the air, I can smell the sulphur. I'm in Iceland. Oh.
I was barely 2 hours into the day's hike, and already I felt as though I was having an out-of-this-world experience. Except I really was on planet Earth. Things here were not always like this though, and it certainly wasn't always as accessible an area. Historically, these surrounding valleys were avoided due to the belief of residing evil spirits. Any sheep that wandered into the hills were given up as lost, and it was only in the mid-1800s, when cartographers came to chart the area, that it was opened up. I have to say, I'm grateful for these people, because to miss out on this beauty would have been a real shame.
Little bit of snow there. Beautiful, eh? Just looking around. Oh man. Well, how's about this review? Nothing else like it. It's literally like we've landed on Mars. Ah. Huh. Elevation 923 meters above sea level. Nice. We're leaving behind the gorgeous colours, the view, everything. Now we've got this nice walk through what I'm presuming is essentially some kind of old lava plateau. Sort of dirt underground. Ah, feels good. One of the things that proved mildly difficult to know is when to come and do this trail, because essentially the huts and the paths and things don't open up until the snows have cleared somewhat. That can be anything from beginning of June to end of June, and then the snows can come back in sort of end of August, early September. It's a very, very short hiking window. For me, that's why I picked July, because I wanted the highest success rate of being able to get out here, even if it means there's more people on the trail. That being said, 11% of Iceland is permanently covered in glaciers. There's a really, really high percentage given the current state of the climate. And on this route, we're still going to see plenty of snow because it doesn't completely melt away. And I'm excited because it just gives a slight twinkling into what the landscape would be like, completely covered underneath snow in the winter. Here we go, check this out. Bonjour. Hi. Looking good. Now in a place like this, where every twist and turn reveals something new or a slightly different aspect, it can be really hard for someone like me to make progress, because I want to capture it all. And that just means time ticks away, but the miles don't. And so I've created a bit of a game for myself, and I do this on different trails depending on what's going on. But today I've been playing a game of spot the language. So there are walkers coming from the other direction and cyclists as well. And I like to try and listen to see if I can identify what language they're speaking and then say hello in that language. So we've had French, Danish, German, Italian, Spanish, American, some folk from Ireland, and then little old me out here on the Laugavegur in the middle of Iceland. Looks like we've got some more vents up ahead. Now my impression of a landscape like this is a look, don't touch kind of situation. We're gonna stick to the path, people. Look at that. That is properly boiling water. And we just have to casually cross it. Okay, wait, what? This is absolutely crazy. All around. No wrong foot placements here.
This hot spring area was to be enjoyed with its neon greens and radiant warmth. However, walkers are warned if they're to hang around, as extended exposure can cause long-term eye and lung irritation. For me, I took the shots I needed to take and then I walked on through.
Well, I mean, I know I'm only partway through day one, but I think I'm doing okay. So far I haven't died crossing boiling water. Here we are, look, this is us. 3.5 kilometers. Super duper. And Hadler, which is an alternative stop, is over there. Through the boiling earth. Up through some snow, and it's hot and it's cold and it's hot and it's cold. Ah, land of fire and ice. It's Iceland. There's actually a line of cairns that I'm following here with the painted red stick on top. We are actually ascending towards the highest point on the Laugavegur Trail, around 1,060 meters above sea level. Really not far off now, which is good because I don't know if you can see this, but behind me, clouds coming in on these surrounding peaks. Now they do say if you don't like the weather in Iceland, wait 15 minutes, but I ain't hanging around for nobody. Let's go. Thank you for your service, Ken. Appreciate it. The little red sticks are, in some places, almost completely buried. And if they're not clear now, are they gonna free up at all? It just feels like you're in the middle of nowhere. See? Look at this little dude. Buried. Hello down there. And following the line, and then the yellow one, and then boom, gone. For now, at least. See, this is all slush, and clearly people have got wet feet. I'm just going to be a bit fussy and try and loop around a little bit. Maybe I'll follow the bike track. Oh no, don't follow the bike track. That was a terrible mistake. Okay, what about up here? Don't want to wander too far away, but I just want to avoid the slush as much as possible. Now that I have a wet foot. Here we go. Alright, let's get up to the path, because this mist is coming in. Check this out, we have a sign. Ta-da! So, as you can see, it's basically half a kilometre down to the hut. Well, actually we don't really go down, that's for tomorrow. But still, it feels incredible to be here, and even better, the mist is clearing up ahead. I can see all the cairns, and just having a moment of grounding at the surrealness of where I am actually stood. I'm surrounded by snowfields and ash and rocks and obsidian. This black rock underneath my feet, this is obsidian. Some of it's quite shiny. Now, obsidian is an incredible rock. So smooth and shiny, and is formed by lava cooling really, really quickly. Now for me, obsidian is perhaps one of my favourite rocks, and it's because it was traded so widely in sort of Bronze Age UK or England, or just the Bronze Age in general, from Mesopotamia, because unlike flint, it can really maintain an edge over a long period of time. So it's good for cutting, good for tools, knives, axes, shears, that sort of thing. So it's just mad to actually be walking through a landscape, essentially, that is just formed of obsidian. This is where it comes from. Fantastic. Oh my goodness, this just got real. So, highest point, 1,060 meters, and we're looking down over the valley, and I can see glaciers, people. Oh wow, that is completely phenomenal. And the hut's just down there as well. What an epic place to call camp.
This hut, with a name that I'm not even going to try to pronounce, sat in Hrafntinnusker, a wild and barren landscape, often cut off due to snows, save for 2 months of the year. Me and other hikers I met started to call it the HF hut for simplicity. The building sleeps 36 people, and it's a cosy affair where you'll quickly get to know your neighbours. The rest of the space, though, is for campers, as wild camping is prohibited along the trail due to its fragility. Campers are not allowed to use the hut, except in emergency situations. So for us, it was stacks of rocks to hide behind should the weather turn bad.
Oh, that's tomorrow. That's helpful. Rain, not so much rain. -3 temperature at night. Yay! Hi, how are we doing? Oh, I like the socks, that's good.
Good, you?
Yeah, very good. May I camp, please? It's not too far anyway, is it?
No. It's all down, yeah, it's downhill.
Hey!
It's like these stone circles, you could put the tent in one of those.
Bit of shelter.
Toilets and water are just around the corner behind this hut.
Okie dokie, money paid. I'm just losing track of the complete conversion rate. I don't know, I'm just handing over the money. And now we're gonna find somewhere to pitch up for the night. And it sounds like an early start is gonna be the answer because there's rain coming in around noon. So, where are we gonna call home? Wind's definitely coming from that way. It's a wee bit fresh. I think this one's got my name on it. Plus we get that epic view. Yeah, this will be good. Campsite! Ta-da! So this is the Southern Cross 1. It's a freestanding tent in a sense that the poles keep it upright and the guy lines are just for additional support, and I thought that would be very helpful in a place like this where I have no idea if I can get pegs in. But it's all a bit disorganised in here. Essentially, this is my cooking area. Explosion. And then this is the main compartment. Garmin in reach there. Needs a message. My fam, let them know I'm alive. And then sleeping bag. And a bit of a tight squeeze up there. Sweet home for the next few nights. Well, the tent is up and I'm going to get myself settled in for the night. That being said, I am in the land of the midnight sun, so it's not actually going to get dark. Eye mask definitely required, but I just can't quite take in where I am, and I'm really glad that I've got this opportunity to just be still. I'm surrounded on all sides by snow and peaks and ash and old lava stuff and foaming, bubbling, boiling pools of water. There's a few other campers about, and of course people staying in the hut as well. And I thought about walking on, but then I just stopped and looked at where I am and decided, no, this is where I'm going to stay for the night. Why rush when you get an opportunity just like this to be somewhere like this? It's just unfathomably beautiful, and I can't wait to spend the night here. Early start in the morning though, going to try and beat that weather if it's due to come in at noon. So let's see how we go. Early night, early rise. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning everybody, it is day 2 on the Laugavegur. I'm sure my pronunciation changes every time I say the word, but still, it's 6:45 and I'm the first one, as far as I can tell, to leave camp. I was snug as a bug in my sleeping bag, but I really do want to try and beat the weather today, purely for the sake of filming, so I can show you just how beautiful this trail is. So anyway, I'm on the go. It's literally only 7.5 miles to the next hut, and that's where I'm stopping. My goal is to get there by lunchtime, sort of 12:01ish. We'll just see, depending on how much there is to take in. Apparently quite a lot. So yeah, it feels a little bit odd being the first one leaving, in the sense that I have no one to follow, but it's beautiful, clear visibility right now. We've got a few river crossings today as well, so just going to take our time, zero rushing, 100% groundedness, and just soak it all in. But I tell you what, there's a fair bit of snow about here. Actually, one of the things worth me mentioning is that this stretch of the trail is very notorious for its snow bridges. Therefore, as the evening progresses and the snow melts, each new day you should be very careful and not just necessarily follow the line of footsteps, because the snow might collapse underneath you. You're going to navigate it nice and steady today, but it really does make for some beautiful artwork, I suppose. Nature's artwork, gotta love it.
I was close to bursting with the clear skies and sunshine, but a cairn in memory of a hiker who got lost during a whiteout here and died in 2014 was a sobering reminder that in Iceland, sunny days are never guaranteed.
I've just noticed on the hillside over there, the score marks, the fissures essentially where the glacier has eroded away the rock and the sediment. And I just had a moment of like, the geology here is absolutely mind-bogglingly phenomenal. And I keep using that word because I just can't quite surmise the awe and the sense of awe and wonder that one feels being here in this place. Yesterday's walk, today's walk. I mean, I've not come very far, I can still see the hut, but still, like, I'm dragging my jaw along the floor here, people. And I think the thing is, I'm not a geologist, but even a basic understanding that the rocks and the soil and the minerals beneath our feet are the foundation of life on Earth really helps you to appreciate, in a deeper sense, this place through which we're traveling. You know, everything we walk upon, again, the rocks and the soil, they dictate the plants that grow, the animals that live there, everything. Life on Earth, it relies on, yes, even sometimes quite dramatic events, floods and volcanic explosions and various things like this, coastal sea level rise, because it fertilizes the land, and that makes way for progression and sort of that hierarchy of species. And so being here feels very much like I'm at the beginning of time. It feels untouched. Obviously it's not, but it feels truly wild. You know, a lot of our planet would have looked like this back before the last ice age, you know, between 10 and 16,000 years ago. And yes, actually, to be fair, Iceland was a lot more forested than we see today, thanks to the Vikings. Most of the trees are gone now. But still, just that fundamental appreciation, it really adds something to the trip. So do a bit of geology research, people, if you're going to come out here, because it just makes everything that a little bit cooler. A few of these little up-down situations, you drop down onto the ice what's left of it, and then you have to climb back up again. Yay! Let's just go for it. Look at this snow. That is beautiful. Wow. Not so smooth. Oops. You see that peak in the center of the screen there? There's actually a path all the way to the top. I can just about make it out. But either way, our route sort of essentially just goes, you can see, up here and then over the top, which is kind of exciting.
This peak, called Haskaunga, was 1,281 metres high and home to a small glacier. For me though, I set about climbing alongside, now with soft rhyolite back underfoot instead of snow. As with most climbs, the reward made the effort worthwhile, as ahead stretched a breathtaking panorama. It felt impossible to get enough of the views, and I worried that I would fill up my SD cards. The oranges and browns and greens and greys, the vast distances and grainy foregrounds, glaciers, and then the odd sketch of a footpath up to a summit. It was utterly surreal.
This is why you want to do this hike in clear weather. Just looking ahead, we can see the glacier. So the additional day 5, the extra trail that's not actually part of the Laugavegur, goes between two glaciers, and that's why it's really completely weather dependent, because it's just stupid going up there in bad weather. People die up there, and I don't want to be one of them. But just looking ahead, seeing the edge, I mean, that's our ultimate destination for the Laugavegur, and just wow, it feels very Lord of the Ringsy here. Also, it smells of boiled eggs, because oh, boiling sulphurous water gas stuff. Yay! Thank goodness this is not wet, because it would be terribly slippy. Just another boiling river. Whoa, no way. Look at that. Oh my goodness me. We've come over the brow, past the steaming pools of bubbling water, and this is the view we're greeted with. Now, as far as I'm aware, this is the Alftan Valley. So the hut that we're staying at is down there, and you can see it's really green, and then above it are the glaciers, which are obviously really white, and then here we've got the orangey browny sediment, and it's so striking, just the contrast of all of the colours. But perhaps most impressive for me is if you look in the centre, there's just these giant peaks of moss covered lava. Well, I'm presuming it's lava, not a geologist. But either way, that is by far one of my favourite views on the trail so far. And the best thing about it is we get to walk into it. Ah, there's the lake. You can just see it in the corner. So the hut is next to that. So good. I don't know if this is our river crossing, but there's definitely not much if it is. I'd be surprised if this is it, to be fair. Can definitely boulder hop this one. Just try and find a strategy for that though. That one, that one, that one. Then I want to get, where do I want to get? Interesting. Well, all I can do is try. Well, that's boiling. Don't touch. And here's a sign, 5.3k to go to the hut. Definitely need to slow down. Jeez, look at these rocks. I mean, if this isn't lava, I don't know what is. See the layers of strata. I can hear water. Let's see if we can see anything, because this looks like a pretty big canyon. Oh yeah, it is. Wow.
As I stood atop an outcrop looking out over the canyon, I felt 100% immersed in the raw power of nature. The Alftavatn Valley that I was looking over is actually a rift valley, meaning the crust is slowly being pulled apart, and there are faults on either side of the lake itself. I could feel the weather slowly changing against my skin, but promised myself I wouldn't rush, pausing often to stop and look and breathe and feel before beginning my descent down into the luscious green lands that lay before me.
This is possibly a little steep for some people. I don't mind it because I'm kind of used to it, but we're definitely going down. Here we are, and we're working down to the river now. It's going to be icy given that it's meltwater coming through all the way down. And see a few folk down there, so let's see how we get on. I'm now on the lookout for a crossing point. There seems to be a few paths sort of heading up. People have definitely crossed there earlier in the season. Now I have to work out where I want to cross. There's somebody. Oh, two people. I think they're coming this way though. They haven't overtaken me. Looks like a lot of people have gone down here and then up. I might just do the same. Okay, we have a river. Let's get across it. This is where you gotta just actually think for a minute. I mean, that looks half decent. We've got a pretty solid rock there. I mean, it's, nah, I'm not sure about that actually. I'm just being really lazy here. I should just put my shoes on, but you know. Oh no. I am gonna put my shoes on. This is what I brought them for. Clogs. Alright, clogs are on. Let's go. Face upstream, people. That is ridiculously cold. That really hurts. Ow. Oh. Alright, one more. First river crossing done. Ow. Now there's a really weird sight. Clogs on the snow. Winning. Alright, first river crossing done. Just put some waterproofs on. I've not properly sorted myself out yet because I need a wee. But you can see the rain coming in. Fingers crossed we can get to camp before it properly starts. But for now, it's enough to be worth acting on. Geez, that woke me up. Let's just put it that way. Here we go. 3.2k. Easy peasy. Let's get it done. Jeez. I just stopped and looked from where we've come, and the entire route is in the cloud now, or the ridge at least over which we've come. I'm so glad I followed my instincts to set out early this morning. I really doubted myself when everyone else was still in the tents asleep, but then I was like, no, I'm gonna keep going. And we had incredible views, and now we're not walking in the cloud. So that paid off. Anywhere else you'd say that's not healthy, but here, this is very healthy. Alftafatan, 2.3 kilometers. Camping is authorized in designated camping area. Cool. Meanwhile, I just continue to walk through Middle Earth. I feel like I'm just having a bit of a fall to my knees moment. Just as I'm drawing into Camp 2 and the landscape around me has changed so much. I'm within the green, mossy, lavary, ashy peaks, and I just can't get my head around the fact that this exists. I think this has got to be the most primitive, wild place I've ever stepped foot. Even though people work through it and move through it, you know, for a good 9-10 months, this place is covered under snow and ice. In fact, the peaks around me with snow and ice rarely even clear at all throughout a season. And what just blows my mind, and I knew I'd get excited about this, is that there are so many plant species that can live and thrive here. Alpine plant species. There's the flowers and there's the small shrubs. You don't dare call them trees. I mean, there's the stereotypical joke, what do you do if you're lost in a forest in Iceland? Stand up. Kind of true, but there's a lot of replanting going on. Anyway, the point is, plants thrive here. And I just find that such a fascinating principle. And for some people, this landscape, well, they believe that this is how planet Earth began. Everywhere was like this at one point. And I'm walking through it. I feel in a way that I've never felt before, just really connected to the past and to the people that had to eke out an existence in remote and wild and harsh landscapes. I have a hut to walk to every single day, but the people that first lived here, and indeed across the world, they didn't have civilization to fall back on. Not really. They were out on their own. They knew the landscape. They could read the skies and the earth and the soils. They could track animals. They could chase the seasons depending on the plant species that were flourishing. And for me, that's what I strive for. Yes, I am a pilgrim. I am transient through these environments and indeed many other environments. But I want to always remain grounded as I possibly can be, and connected to the landscape. Because this is home, this is nature. No matter how foreign and bizarre it might seem, no matter how fluorescent it might appear, this is home because I am nature, I am wild, you are nature, we are wild. And I'm finding myself feeling really humbled And I have so much gratitude coursing through my body that places like this still exist, that they haven't just been mined and dug up for their mineral resources, but in fact they're treasured and protected for their pure and raw beauty. A little crossing here. Little legs. This place is incredible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little huts, maybe 6. Might be one tucked around the corner. And this is our stop for the night. Well, first stop for me is to see if the restaurant bar is open. If there's a coffee, I'll take it, no matter what it costs.
Hi.
Hi! I've come to have a look.
Okay.
Well, for 500 krona, I've got myself a cup of coffee. Just felt like it's a nice treat, really. So I'll just sip on this and then find somewhere to pitch up the tent in this vast open space that is Iceland.
Altavatn means Swan Lake, and it was a peaceful spot, surrounded by green, grey and black peaks. The hut can house up to 60 people, but the camping area was vast, even when avoiding the sacred mosses that are susceptible to compaction.
We have a sign, Thórsmörk, 30k. That's just such a, can do that in a day easily. But we're actually going 15k tomorrow to Emstura and Botnar. Super chill, this trail. Looks like they're carrying on. It seems wise, it does seem wise. Do I want to carry on? I'm actually having a serious debate about whether to carry on or not. I mean, it's, what is the time? I've managed to use up some time doing some filming. It's 1:30. And 15k is very much within my physical reach. And then Thórsmörk would be over the brow. Only thing I have booked is the bus, and that's it. I have no Airbnb in Reykjavik. Let's go find out what the weather is. That might help. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well. I'm just considering carrying on.
Yeah, I mean, it's very early in the day.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I mean, the next one is like 3.8 kilometers away, Havinngil. That's a very nice camping spot there as well.
Oh.
And they have like an indoor area for campers and stuff like that. So
Oh, what's that one called?
Havinngil. It's
Do you have one on
here. So we're here right now.
Yeah.
Havinngil is the next one.
Oh, maybe I'll just go there then.
Yeah, it's not too far, so like you still get enough
Yeah.
like chill time. And
Yeah.
then it's just shorter tomorrow that you have to walk to Amsterdam.
Yeah, it is. Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, I will go and eat some squashed banana.
Love that for you.
I know. Thank you for your help.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Right, so decision made. I'm pressing on to the next hut. 3.8k. It's nothing really, at least for me. I'll never take it for granted that I get to walk that distance with this body. Happy days. But no, really, really cool place, and just good energy, super chill. A little bit of signal here actually, which is kind of nice. Got to just send a couple messages whilst I stopped. But pressing on into the mountains, and I'm definitely not the only one who's used this place as a lunch break and is continuing on. So let's just see how we go, shall we? Exciting. Oh, a little river crossing. That's very helpful, isn't it? Thank you. Nice. Please be stable. This is actually a really special spot for me. Crossing the bridges is fun, but check this out. You see this white tufty stuff down here? This is cotton grass. So you get hare's tail cotton grass and then normal cotton grass. And normal cotton grass is generally my favourite. And essentially, it's just tufty stuff that makes really good tinder. And actually back in the days, people would collect it and make sort of pillows and mattresses out of it. I mean, it's pretty tough to collect a lot of it, but it's just one of my favourite plants that you find in these sort of moorland, alpine regions, because it's just so striking. Just the white generally against the green or the brown. It's just so soft. Wave goodbye to the huts. Really is a cool spot, hey. Please keep on the path. No problem. Wait, what? There's a digger. Huh? Okay, I'm thoroughly confused by the digger situation. I mean, the view's great, and you can probably hear in the background that noise. So there's been a few of these birds hanging around the path, and they seem to like make the meow and then walk and then stop, meow, walk, stop. So cute. Clearly they must be nesting around here. I can't tell if it's an alarm call. I mean, it doesn't sound particularly distressed. Maybe it's a distraction technique, but they're so insanely camouflaged against the rocks here. Oh, nature's amazing.
These golden plovers have got to be one of my all-time favourite little birds. And every time I rewatch these clips, my face just bursts with a smile. How can you not love that sound? Anyway, when I eventually got moving again, I set my eyes on the peaks around me, mottled and imposing in the brooding skies. It didn't matter what the weather was going to throw my way though. I was still smiling. Beep!
Dropping down to the river. Oh, this is our river crossing. Oh, that's not too bad. I don't know why, but in my head these river crossings were massive torrents of water that one has to battle against, and so far they've been pretty mellow. I'll make it across this one first. Alright, so this is our river. In order to save the pain of going once and then twice, I think I'm gonna go here. Actually no, I don't know is that jumpable? Because if that's jumpable, then it's just one. Oh no, it's not, there's twice. Ignore that. Logic with Abbie. I still think I'd rather do short and sharp. This water is so cold. Alright, we're gonna jump this one, get onto this little island, and then we'll get clogs on. Yay! Go! Okay, we're on an island in the sun. Alright, round 2 for day 2. Here we go. Facing up river, rucksack undone. Let's go. Oh, that's so cold. Okay, I need a break. 2 steps in and I need a break. Oh, just that distance to go. I can make it. Just trying to stick to the shallower bits. No pain, no gain, no pain, no gain, no pain, no gain, no pain, no gain, all the pain, no gain, all the pain, no gain. That's so cold. Try doing it 3 times for filming. Yay! I feel like I'm basically Wim Hof now, you know, ice baths and all that. Have fun. You see that, people? There's the rain coming in. Let's keep making progress. In this instance, the best thing I can do anyway is to walk and get some circulation back into my feet. Oh, invigorating. That's what it is. Not cold. Cold is an opinion. It's nonsense. 2.3 kilometers. Havinngil. Let's go. I feel like my linguistic skills are really having to work hard here. All the different languages and the tiny weeny bits of languages that I know, I'm trying to dig into. There's the German, Italian, there's Czech, there's French, I don't know everyone. There's Americans, there's Danish, there's Icelandic, there's English. There's a big group of English behind me actually. There's all sorts, and some people from Portugal, and there's some people from Corsica. Where else? Some people from Russia. Like, I don't think I've ever been on such a country diverse trail in my life. I'm really enjoying it. Every so often I'm just whipping out Google Translate because I just like to at least be able to say hello, goodbye, how are you, and have a good walk. That's my minimum, and it's really fun. So when I meet someone from a country where I know nothing, for example Russian, I know no Russian at all, then it's like, okay, what even is hello and goodbye in Russian? Let's dig into that to begin with. So fun, really fun, very, very special. Even more special though, arguably, maybe not, I don't know, subjective. Ahead is the glacier. It's just, I mean, it looks like I'm about to cross onto Antarctica. Just the whopping great sheet of ice. And it's so nice to see because I've been in a lot of landscapes, in particular the Alps actually, where there are just tiny remains of glaciers and you can see just how much they've melted from the smoothed out rocks above them. It's quite heartbreaking, but this is not heartbreaking, this is heartwarming, even though it's ice and it's cold. That's the mountain we were looking down over earlier, glacier, and then just over the brow, this is our hut system. Oh, it doesn't look like there's any tents here actually. That is interesting. Okay, accountability required. I do not want to find myself walking the next day because I have an itinerary, I have a bus booked. What is the time? The time is 3:30. All right. We'll make a decision when we get down there, right? Actually, I was just thinking, the rain is due in, and it's obviously coming across from where we've just been from the north. So, if I can be wise, I will stop here, despite it only being 3:30. Not that the rain ever hurt anybody, I'm sure I'll be fine. You know what this is? This is pressure. Everybody else is walking on. People got to the hut, they debated, they walked on. People getting here, they're walking on. Now I can't see any tents, so I think if I could see some tents, that would help me be like, cool, I'm gonna stop here. How bad is that? That is like subliminal peer pressure. It's just personal pressure. It's my trip. There's no race. I think also I'm quite used to finishing at like 6, 7. But then also, I don't mind having chill time. So what's the problem here? Internal debate. This sign might help. 11.2k. No, that's tomorrow's journey. Even though that's a really, really, really short journey. I seem to always do this to myself. Let's find out what the situation is here, shall we? Ooh, there's a shower. I don't need that, I don't stink that bad. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, and you?
Yeah, very good, thank you. How long do you think it would take?
To Amsterdam, 11 kilometers, maybe 3 to 3.5 hours.
Yeah, that's my challenge. Okay, maybe I will just sit outside and have a little think, and then I'll come back in. Is that okay?
Yes. Sure.
Thank you for your help.
You're welcome. Hello.
All of the wardens are so nice and friendly and kind. So, a few hours to the next camp. I think the best thing to do when you're in these situations is just have a little sit down and a snack, obviously. Three hours with filming. I think I'm gonna make myself stop here. It's 4 o'clock now, and I can still do some extra filming, which is great. And then I'm really considering the next day pushing all the way through to Thórsmörk. I'm gonna go look on the sign and ask the warden just to check how far it is. But even if it's like 18 miles, that's a pretty normal day for me, really. Either way, I'm going to end up finishing a day early and probably doing this trail in 3 days, unless something seriously goes wrong tomorrow and I decide that I want to stop. Oops. Hello, I'm back. How far is it from here to Þórsmörk?
To Thórsmörk is 27
kilometers. I did it! I made a decision. I'm camping here for the night. And then tomorrow, probably, I'm going to head to the end of the trail. But for now, let's just make a little house amongst the rocks, shall we? So there's a little circle here. You get this super cool view. They've got a picnic bench. Not jealous at all. I have a weird picnic bench fetish. Ooh, and look at this. It's like the kind of house you'd find on the Orkney Islands. How cool is this? A little platform. And then hide in here. I quite like the idea of being in a little hidey hole, actually. Kind of cool. Yay or nay? Actually, I changed my mind. I need a breeze. Having wind is good because it helps to reduce condensation, so I don't want to be too sheltered. I think I'm going to go for this one. Even though it's quite exposed. Let's keep walking, shall we? It's just, I reach a point on the trail where I just lose track of making decisions. It's just hard. Since there's like no one here, I don't want to invade their personal space. There's no point going too close to them. That's too close, you see. This could work. Okay, this is my spot because I want some of that view, please. So as you can see, this is the beauty of a freestanding tent. You literally just pick it up and walk around wherever you want to go. So I have just angled mine to maximise the intake of the view. The wind is actually now coming from sort of southwesterly. It's definitely changed during the duration of the day, but I think I'm going to be alright. And also again with the midnight sun, if I'm not alright then I'll just move my tent over there. Easy peasy. Well, the tent is up and I've just been sat looking at the view for a fair while. The clouds are just kissing the mountains there through which we've travelled. It's just very dramatic and I just really can't believe that this is my view. I get to fall asleep to this. Feeling really good about my decision. Sometimes I do get flustered and that's absolutely okay. Just know that I have to pause and feel into what's the right decision. For now, I'm going to go get some water from the facilities and use the facilities and just get settled in for the evening. Feeling really content, really chill, and I'm looking forward to a whole new day tomorrow. Iceland is winning my heart big time. Alright, day 3 on the trail has begun and so is the rain, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it's not going to last because who wouldn't? And potentially in the background you can hear a rather deafening roar of water. So we've got some fascinating features today, geographical and geological. We're actually beginning our walk through a basalt desert. Now basalt, unlike the obsidian on day 1, has a very low silica content, all to do with the cooling, speed of cooling and all that shebang. Anyway, and we also are going to experience plenty of water and this is where it all begins. Thankfully we've got a bridge though. Woohoo! Look at that! Wow! That's going to take some investigation. Let's go have a quick look. Try and walk on the rocks only so as not to damage any of the moss. I'm a little bit paranoid about dropping my gear though. I have a habit of losing and breaking things. So let's just get off and onto dry ground now. That has got to have been one of the most striking rivers I've ever crossed. And then ahead, the skies are clearing, the fells are coming out. Oh, I got some good vibes about today. So F210, that's the F road. And we're entering the Katla Geopark, which I'm presuming is just some kind of like national park situation. It's kind of cool. Emstra and Botnar, 10.2k. Perfect. We can work with that. Let's go. I don't know if this is our river crossing for the day, but it sure looks like it. I knew that there was one more, and this one's the most treacherous because it's deep and it's fast. And obviously we've had rain and there's no one around. This one really does have to be taken seriously. Check it out. Naturally just looking for the shallowest part, and also naturally following the footsteps of where everyone else seems to have gone. That's generally a good reason. It's just impossible to tell how deep it is. River crossings are something that really shouldn't be rushed. Generally, you know, they pose a pretty big threat to hikers. So you should always take your time scouting out a spot, face upstream, braced, nice small steps, river shoes help. Man, that's deep, I'm not going there. Rucksack unclipped. And ideally, cross with a buddy. Mine's imaginary. Yay me. So this spot here looks like a half decent crossing point. Doesn't look too bad. I'm worried about the other side getting deep, you see. Definitely good exit points. Maybe I will go here. It definitely seems to be the most mellow. It's wide, but it's mellow. And actually I think I can just get across to this bar using my tripod as a aid here. There we go. So, on a bar. Not the kind of bar I'd like right now, and I don't even drink. Maybe I'm not convinced about that now actually, because that bit there, that's too much for me, I think. You see the anxiety on my face? It's real. That's deep, that's deep, that's deep. So deep. Alright, I'm going for my spot. I've got to be sensible about this, particularly being by myself. I have to go what I'm most comfortable with. Let's go, no more thinking, just do. Don't think, just do. 3, 2, 1, we're in. Oh, that's cold, people. Oh, I can feel that. Keep going. Oh, that's strong. I'm in the middle of a river in Iceland. It's freaking freezing. Ah! Oh. That is so cold. Okay, one part done, one to go. Oh, that hurts, man, that hurts. All right, we got one more, which is deep. Oh, ow. This is the bit I'm worried about. Pull my trousers up a little bit. That's not too bad, actually. I mean, you know, numbing, but not too bad. It always looks so much worse, and it's best to be taken seriously. Oh my gosh, I made it. I'm just nervous talking. Oh, my feet. Oh, that was fantastic. I can't believe I just did that. See, this is why I like hiking, because it pushes you, man. It pushes you. It makes you think. It makes you work. It's a challenge that is literally life and death, whereas the day-to-day challenges of mundane, boring old life are just so meh. Look at where I am. I just crossed this river. And I'm completely here by myself. There is nobody for miles. That was such an incredible experience. Right, time to warm up. Alright, the plan is to get my feet properly dry because we've got a long day ahead now that we've eventually crossed the river, and eat something just to make sure my blood sugar's up because that was very exhilarating. Whew. And then get to the next hut. Back to the path with my really numb feet. Feels funny. Oh, I'm feeling really proud of myself for that. Feels good. I'm getting some well-earned waffle crumbs for my feet. I can't think, my legs are so funny. Oh, looks funny. Funny legs. Goodbye to the river. Hello to dry land. I'm actually just having a bit of a proud moment, to be honest. Just, this is why I love hiking, you know, it really is. And I think the thing is, this is why I started Wild, to, yes, build an archive of trails around the world, but to really emphasize the power of nature and getting outside into nature and how it pushes us and challenges us, and it presents endless opportunities for personal growth and personal awareness as well. You have to really be very grounded and centered. That's a very mindful activity, crossing a river. You can't think about anything else except making sure that you survive. And that's what I'm trying to do here, is basically this is accessible, not necessarily this trail, but nature is accessible for everybody. And this is what these films are about, is literally that simple, humble reminder that we are nature and we need it. We need it to be our best selves. We need to be in it, we need to be surrounded by it, we need to be eating it, we need to be enjoying, and we need to be giving back to nature as well. So, just feeling really proud of myself for that moment, because I rose to the challenge, and quite literally the next path is on the other side of fear. Fear of the unknown. I'm through it, I'm on the other side, and I'm pressing on with the trail. And that is a totally awesome metaphor for life. Sometimes we just got to cross a pretty deep, gnarly, cold, icy river, and life is on the other side. There are these massive hunks of rock here, just probably thrown out of a volcano and landed slap bang right there. Massive.
This basalt desert, shadowed by Stórulusa, the peak we saw as we rounded the top of the caldera 24 hours ago, was littered with bombs. Thankfully, not of the explosive kind, but rather volcanic. Spherical, cow pie, cord and bread crust. It sounds like I'm making it up, but honestly, these gnarly formations were created during eruptions, and each variation speaks to its cooling speed, impact level and viscosity. I enjoyed hunting for different types as I walked with my guidebook.
It's just also a very bizarre concept in my head that we're playing around in the shadow of U15, the volcano that erupted in 2010 and caused almost worldwide air flight disruption, evacuation of thousands of people. And well, actually, tomorrow, weather permitting, we'll be climbing around it. But either way, if anything happens right now, well, that's the end of me.
Thankfully, as well as lava bombs, there were plenty of wildflowers to once again enjoy, and small streams that, as it turns out, terminated at an unexpected, thundering surprise.
Gosh, that sounds like quite a roar. We're about to find out. Now this is a proper glacial river coming straight down from the glacier, which I can see there as well. Oh man, yeah, you don't want to be playing around in that thing. Whew. I know some people would want to put a kayak on that. Let me tell you, my friends, I am not one of those people. I will continue on terra firma and into the land of the volcanoes. Here we go, 5.7k to the next hut. You know, it's really quite something to be able to get up close and personal with these volcanoes. And it's not hard to see why Iceland is a land filled with myths and legends of trolls and witches, all hiding and living amongst these peaks. They're so gnarly, each one's unique. It gives you goosebumps, really. I just can't express what walking through this place feels like. Look at this place. We've just landed on the moon, people.
To be honest, this area was pretty bonkers, and each corner I rounded brought with it new formations and mind-boggling colours. One volcano I found really aesthetically pleasing was Hat Fell. Vibrant green against the stark black. It made for a good lunch spot.
It's a pretty gnarly rock formation, that one, eh? Ash, 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 ash. It's like a new swear word. Ash. People and a river. That's progression for the day. Ah, that looks like a shoes one, eh? Hi.
Hello.
Did you change shoes for this one?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, fine. Thank you.
You before?
Yeah, that one's deep actually. Pick
okay.
your place carefully, but it's the only hard one. The rest are easy, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Alright, see you. Alright. Crocs again it is then. Really didn't expect that. Can I just chuck a few boulders in and make some stepping stones? Everybody would be happier, right? Not gonna mess about with this one. Let's just get it done. Nice and shallow. Absolutely freezing. Normal day in the Icelandic Highlands. Feel like a pro at this now. Into Crocs, out of Crocs, cross river in between, bish bash bosh. Here, there isn't even a sign anywhere here. We'll never know how far it is. No. Up over the brow of black ash into another brow of black ash. Look at this. So view behind, neon green volcanoes, and then view in front, ashy foreground and a glacial background. I mean, this is why Iceland is the land of fire and ice.
It was regularly intimidating seeing the views ahead, which hosted my path to Skógar, somewhere. Still, I resolved to stay in the moment, especially as signs of life unexpectedly appeared. Turns out I wasn't as alone as I thought I was. A funny little metaphor for life, I felt.
Here comes a delivery truck, bringing people's packs for those who are slack packing. So I can actually see the unicorn, which is an iconic peak around here. So in the guidebook I'm reading, he calls it Dragon Rock, and he says, oh, the average passerby can expect to see 2 or 3 dragons circling around. Oh wow, look at this. Where the flip am I? Huh? This is real, man. Look at where I am. How is this even a real place? This is absolutely absurd. Wow. Oh, this is stressful. It's too much to take in.
Every single river I had crossed on my journey so far feeds into this colossal canyon, known as Markaflöt. It was magnificent and grand and splendid and every possible synonym you can think of a spectacular sight. Speaking a million words more than I can say through my language, to the power of nature.
Yay! And then round in the corner, there's the hut. Happy days.
Botnar sits laughably small amongst this vast, exposed landscape, and yet weirdly, it's one of the tightest packed campsites on the route. The huts can sleep up to 40 people, and there's a small supply of scoff purchasable from the warden hut, but otherwise there was little for me to see, so I travelled on through and on with my adventure.
Right, here we go. Here, Þórsmörk, down the steps, up, and then that side's going to be interesting. Just you wait and see. Yeah. It's so beautiful. Look at this. It's like an English spring garden in its own special way.
It never fails to amaze me, the world around, with the power of water. Where there is water, there is life, and it was here that plants grew in abundance. A tiny oasis amongst an ashy desert wilderness.
And then this, my friends, is the sign that I've been told about. Essentially an evacuation procedure. So we are just up here. Can I interpret this? Not really. But basically it's talking about Katla, which is the other volcano that usually erupts after E15, and it hasn't erupted yet. And that's 12 years ago that E15 erupted right here. Interesting, hey? Maroons and flares. When it has been confirmed that Katla started to erupt, warnings are passed to the main tourist venues, mountain cabins, in the risk of fire. Basically, get out. And now that we have confirmation that we are walking through a volcanically unstable environment, we're on to our final leg. So down to Thor's Forest, Þórsmörk. It's about 10 miles, just going to take it nice and steady. But for now, I've heard that this is a very beautiful stretch, different to everything else we've encountered so far. I mean, not that I've encountered volcanoes like this before, but still, let's see how we go. I'm really looking forward to this last leg. It looks a bit precarious. Sunken bridge. Nice. I got my stick out for this one. It's just gonna help. Okay, I guess we're going down then. Yep, right down there, people. Jeez. All right, let's go. Woo-hoo-hoo! Look at that! It's like a mini Grand Canyon. That is absurd. Ah, yes! Oh my gosh, look at this. Walking down to the canyon, and there's the glacier. I mean, that is why you come to Iceland, folks. Wow.
What I was looking at, and now apparently walking into, was a river which over thousands of years has sliced through 200 metres of lava flows and pyroclastic deposits, the reds highlighting vents from long extinct volcanoes.
Alright, so we're dropping down to the gorge now. This is going to be gnarly because we've got to cross over the river, thankfully by bridges, as you'll see. Here we go. Look at this. Let's go across the bridge. Wow. Sign. Thórsmörk, 13k. Easy peasy. Let's go. You know what I'm sort of realising? I'm going to have to fact check this, but I reckon this landscape has partly been shaped by that glacier, that it came all the way along here, and these plateaus around us, that's the original height of the glacier during the last ice age. And the reason why I thought that is because you've got these ashy piles, and generally speaking glaciers leave these, they're glacial bars, the build up of sediment, and that just gets deposited as it retreats. So that's my thinking anyway. No idea if that's true or not.
It was a lovely walk along the plateau, which was home to many tiny plants, like crowberry and heather. Then came birch and dwarf alpine willow, speaking to the level of succession that was occurring in the area. Plants taking root in shallow soils and then gradually evolving, bigger, braver, taller over time.
So ahead of us we've got this climb which is taking us out of the bowl, and I think it's one of the last climbs for the day.
Ahead was an imposing wall of vertical columnar basalt, and these outcrops form as basalt contracts and creates hexagonal columns. A short hike on and I'd see radial versions where columns radiate out from a central point, often in the heart of a lava flow.
Here we go. Wasn't quite as bad as it looked. Oh geez, waterfall over there. Ah, cool. Oh, and then we stay high, look. Epic. I mean, this is going to be one of my favourite views on the trail. Just the fact that it's backed by that glacier. I have a proper thing for sort of polar environments, so super cool we've got this glacier. But now I've reached the top, we're going to continue along the ridge and then essentially just descend all the way down to Thórsmörk. It's just so cool. See the gorge just continuing along here. Whew. I mean, this is mad. Such an incredible environment. And that spring essentially with the waterfall just coming down. The vibrant red over here. There's just so much to take in. Here we go, another sign. This is good. 10.9k. Fab. Hey, there's the unicorn, or dragon rock. Unashamed How to Train Your Dragon fan here, and that definitely gets the imagination going. Dropping down into another canyon. This is cool. I mean, you can really just see all of the shrubs and things that are starting to pop up more and more. It's very exciting. Jeez, look at this. Ay, look at that. I mean, I've never stood anywhere like this. This is just completely out of this world. Wow. That is one serious gorge. If I never get to see the Grand Canyon in my lifetime, this is the next best thing. Hey, look. Green, and not of the mossy kind. Actual little mini forest there. See? If you're lost in an Icelandic forest, just stand up.
It may surprise you to know that when settlement began in Iceland around 870 AD, around 25% of the land area was covered in forest. Today, only 1% of it remains, after early settlers who lacked understanding about the fragility of the environment contributed to soil erosion. This is why it's so important that we as hikers stick to footpaths wherever we can, as it can take hundreds of years for soil and small plants to recover from heavy footfall. Even innocently setting up a tent overnight can lead to compaction that can take years to bounce back from.
Oh my gosh, I'm in a forest. Trees! I love trees! Oh, that feels so good. Oh, and the air. Oh my gosh. First trees since leaving the UK. This is a very special moment. I can hear the roar of some water. Oh, we got a bridge. Ooh, let's check it out.
This was the Laugavegur River, sitting within a narrow canyon.
Signage. Please don't be more than 5k. Oh, other way. What have we got here? 4.8k! I can do it! Yay! Definitely starting to feel fatigued actually. I'm dealing with my injury, the pain's really flared up, particularly this afternoon, but actually last night whilst I was lying in bed I was like, oh, that's hurting. So it takes a bit of mental grit and resilience to keep pushing through. But thankfully the landscape right now, oh man, my heart is singing. It's just so good to have trees, shrubs, all the club moss, the heather, the birch, just everything. I feel really happy. This is what hiking's about, people. Oh, okay, looks like we're going up. That's gonna get the heart going. I like it. Hi tree, you're my friend. No decisions. Up we go. For some reason I had in my head that this last leg was flat. Totally not true. It is not flat. Man, look at this river delta, just cutting along here and looping around. We've obviously got this, basically a confluence, because there's the other river coming along from here and then just stretching on as far as the eye can see. I mean, if I wasn't on a designated footpath, I seriously would feel like I'm in a forgotten land. Jurassic Park, people. There's a river crossing down here naturally, and then Thórsmörk is literally on the other side of this hill, covered in trees. Thors forest. Oh man, let's get through the river and then up into some trees. This forest is a new happy place of mine. Just smells so sweet and fragrant. All the different plants just carpeting the earth here. Oh geez, I just feel well and healthy. That's a good feeling. Little Icelandic sheep, very hardy breed. Chowing away on the grass there. Nom nom. Okay, river crossing number 3 today. The people in front are full on taking their trousers off. Yikes. Yeah, that's reasonable speed to that actually. This is gonna be cold. Well, that looks quite deep. Is it quite deep? Knee deep. Oh man, okay. Cool. Geez, knee deep. That's the deepest so far, man. See, it just like drops down. I mean, given the fact that they've just crossed, that's quite reassuring. Shows it's possible, right? Just when I thought we were done with the clogs. Let's get them on. My main consolation right now is that I'm not by myself. Therefore, in one way, this is safer than this morning. But if we're going knee deep, let's get these things rolled right up. Okay, so the others have felt like a bit of fun in one way, but this one's definitely to be taken seriously. This is fast and deep. So we're going once only. Let's get it done. It's like too fun. Oh, yeah, that's not as bad as it looks, is it, actually? We did it! I always get so nervous because you just never know what it looks like versus how it feels, hey? Yeah. Whew, all right. Well, another river crossing done. Pretty happy with that one, actually. And very reassuring to have people nearby, unlike this morning. See you later, guys! Alright, let's go hug some trees, people. We have crossed the river. That was totally unexpected. And now we're going to climb over this mound and onto the other side. Oh no. Oh geez, that's the path. Okay, right. So we crossed the river and then face planted the mud. Geez man, like I think they should put a sign up on that one. Not that this is, no they shouldn't, it's a wild walk. And then, welcome to Thórsmörk. Happy days. Oh, that is a beautiful sign. We are friends. Actually no, I want trees. Quick, grab the first tree. Hi tree. Oh man. So good. We're doing good, people. On to the last 3k then, through the forest. I'm so happy. Again, I think you just like have that adrenaline rush when it comes to crossing a river. But there are trees. I love trees. Oh, trees and flowers and bees and not quite butterflies, but maybe in my mind. Whew. It's like a fairy tale forest.
For me, this was where it all started to get really real. Lungs filled with fresh, pure air and a heart pumping with joy. As much as I had cherished every step of my adventure so far, I was really surprised to find that it was amongst these stunted trees and flowers that I felt happiest, and most powerfully of all, at peace.
I see on this bank here we've got these lupins. So these are an import from Alaska. They've completely taken over here in Iceland. And for me, I find them beautiful. They are a bit of a debate amongst communities, but they're just making everything smell so nice. Horsetail fern here. This stuff is cool. Very bushy. So we have this sign here, this details the different campsites. Sadly, that's the one with, it says welcome to our restaurant, guest house and central bus station and Thórsmörk, soft bed, hot meal, cold drinks and lively atmosphere. There's the volcano huts one, so not for me sadly, because if I'm going to continue on the trail, it's going to be from this one here. Basically sleeping accommodation, beautiful campsite, but thankfully along the way I passed this one, which is the FI hut that has a small shop, and that's what I'm hoping for because I really need to resupply. So even though I thought I was nearly done, I now have 3.5k to go, but we can work with that. Especially because it's through the forest. Right, climbing up. Jeez, well, that was worth the climb. Look at that. You can just about see the volcano hut down there as well. Oh man, incredible. And hopefully it won't be long before we can see our hut, the first one for the resupply, and ours on the other side of the river. Yes, other side of the river. I don't know if we're quite done with river crossings yet. Oh, there's a bridge! Hey! Well, now that I'm just winding my way through this magical forest, I think it's time to sort of reflect on the trip and just the fact that I'm almost at the end of the Laugavegur. Like, it's a dream come true. And sometimes you have to get off the trail in order to actually be able to digest and comprehend how you've been changed. But for me, I can feel that there's been a shift inside of me. I think the courage that it's taken to get here has sort of embedded itself in my DNA, and now it's just coursing through my blood, this complete humility for this landscape through which I've been able to witness. And you know, shooting these films is also such a empowering thing for me, because the whole point of me coming out here is, yes, to have my own personal experiences, but also to enable you guys to think outside the box and step up your game into your dreams and visions, to take them on and access places like this, whether it means stepping in and learning new skills, buddying up with some people, or just booking a flipping train ticket. I don't know, but it has just been the most amazing experience. And you know, adventures are meant to be lived. Adventures are meant to be had, not just talked about. And I really feel like I have had the most incredible adventure here. So whatever the next couple of days bring, because it doesn't really matter whether I get over the top past the glaciers down to Skogar or not, I have achieved what I set out to do, which was to walk the Laugavegur Trail. Haven't improved my pronunciation, but definitely improved my experience of Iceland. And I can tell you, I am going to be back for more, people. Going down. Ah, the Laugavegur hiking trail. Well, I mean, if that doesn't prove that I made it, I don't know what does. This is the starting point. Epic. And then just around the corner, thankfully, a wee sign just reminding me I'm on the right path. I can see the hut. Oh, bring it on. I'm really hoping this store has good supplies. I am dreaming of cinnamon rolls, people. Cinnamon rolls. But then if it's anything like all the other FI hut stores, it's going to be chocolate bars and crisps. I can work with whatever. I just need food.
Despite the busyness of the place, Landmannalaugar was a pretty idyllic spot, and I was seriously tempted to stop for the night. And yet I kept walking, and walking, and walking, as it turned out to be a pretty big place, with tents pitched here, there and everywhere. Eventually I reached the warden's hut and shop for a cheeky resupply, and stopped to rest for a little bit, watching buses come and go, before pressing on to Bazaar.
Actually, as much as I would take the delights and comforts of the modern world right now, it's kind of cool walking away from the big crowds and just on into the hills. Plus, you know you're somewhere that is constantly changing when the bridge has to have wheels so you can move it.
This was the Krossa River, and it's not uncommon for accidents to occur here due to the severity and unpredictability of the flow. So it's best to use the bridge. And if for some reason it's not there, don't be afraid to ask a warden for directions.
Oh, I don't like these. They're like getting off a boat. And now, I don't know. Whew. Here we go. Road. So the campsite's this way somewhere. Check this bunch out. Corn bikers. So tempting to ask for a lift, I'm not gonna lie.
This final leg for the day was shadowed by incredible rock features, kind of like giant grottos. But despite its beauty, wildflowers and all, the impact of large numbers of people visiting the area was easy to see.
Jeez, clearly that's where all of the hut rubbish goes. Hidden away here. Blimey. Looks like it's sorted into recycling though. At least that's what I tell myself. Alright, here we go. Warden and huts. So let's cross over the wee ford and not to fall in. Okay. Alright, plan. Now that I've reached the Laugavegur end and hardly been able to celebrate because I'm still walking. Chat to the warden about the weather tomorrow, get as much information as I can, tent up and get to sleep as quickly as possible, because if I can get over the pass, which you can't even see right now, tomorrow's going to be a long day. But anyway, Laugavegur done. High five. Boom. Here you go. It's quite a hub actually. Footpath Skogar that way. Nice. Oh no. That is dangerous. Oh geez, there's actually proper food here. No. Hi, how are you? Good. Is it possible to camp here tonight? Of course. Perfect, it's just me and one tent. So sadly, still no cinnamon buns. I'm gonna have to get them in Reykjavik. But for now, Pringles. I have never bought a packet of Pringles in my life, but I was really craving salt and these were the cheapest thing. So, Pringles. This is my celebratory meal for myself, having completed the Laugavegur. Woohoo! Good morning, beautiful people. I'm heading away from camp and our adventure continues. That was a bit of a whirlwind when I came down to the first campsite on the other side of the river last night, just because I just really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I needed to find out about the weather, I needed to resupply, and it was all a bit in the moment, and so just filming it got a bit tricky. But anyway, I made it, and then I got to camp, I inhaled so much food, and then I just fell asleep, and I slept through 2 alarms this morning. But an hour later, so 7:30, I'm now on my way. The weather's looking good. We'll see how we get on today. I'm believing for the best, but I'm making an attempt over to Skógar. Oh, and the other funny story is this. So when I woke up, I was like shocked to see I missed 2 alarms. I quickly changed out of my sleeping trousers into my hiking ones to get the job done, and then I walked through camp saying good morning to people, and I get to the toilet, and turns out my sleeping bag liner was hanging out of the back of my trousers like a tail. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. So that happened, and had a good giggle about that. But no, I'm super pumped that I'm hiking again, and we have another full day's walk ahead of us. This is, well, based upon what people have said, it feels just slightly out of my comfort zone, which is great. I'm going to stay sensible. I've got my GPS if I need it, and fingers crossed for an awesome day. Let's see how we go. Skogar 24.1.
It was here that I began tackling the 900 metres of ascent up to the pass called Fimmvörðuháls. Initially, I was walking through a luscious woodland shining in the morning dew, but before long, the canopy broke to reveal a view that took my breath away.
Wow, look at this. Just popped out above the forest to this dramatic canyon here. Whew. Oh man. Jeez. There's the glacier, or one of them anyway. That's good news that it's predominantly out of the cloud right now. And then, just coming up over this brow, should get views over the gorge. Yep, look at that. Woo! Beautiful. It's not bad for 8 o'clock in the morning.
This prominent peak overlooked the various ridges that I was ascending and the dramatic valley below. The area is known as the abode of the gods, or Gordaland, and it's easy to see why.
Well, this looks fun. Tiny little knife edge situation. Cool. I mean, how's that? A lot of people like to think, oh, wide angle lens is making it look worse than it is. This is not a wide angle lens, people. This is how it is. Wow, this path is so cool. I mean, no doubt the sunshine helps, but this is fun. Just walking along the edge of this huge canyon here, water roaring down either side, volcanoes, cloud, blue sky, buzzing right now. Sign. I like signs. It's backwards, but still. Skógar 22. There's a good climb, this one. Proper sweat on. I'm hoping once we reach the col, even though I know there's more climbing, we're gonna get some views over the other side. Whew. Feeling strong, it's good. Look at this. Wow. This is just insane. I feel like I've just reached heaven. No way. I'm completely and utterly lost for words right now. Glacier 360, well, 180 behind us, the lands where we've come from. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, this is why I like hills. A lot of people don't, I do, because you almost always get a reward. And boy, what a reward this is today. Well, it's bright up here now. Sunny isn't needed. But actually looks like we go straight up over the ashy mound in front of us. That looks kind of steep actually. Whew. If it's of interest, I'm carrying nearly 3 litres of water. Apparently there's nowhere to fill up at all on this route because we're high. Generally rivers go down. And the hut up here, they collect rainwater, so they don't just give out water to hikers. You can melt snow, but who has time for that?
I was utterly alone on the plateau, save for some wheatear-like birds that were just a fraction too far away for me to identify.
Yeah, look, that's the kind of sign we want to see. Hut 4K, Skogar 18.8. Nice. Just come over here though before I head on to have a look at this view. Oh, that's a bit nauseating. Okay, I'm not hanging around on that one because I just realised I was stood on an overhang. Goodbye. Let's go. Whoops. Okay, dropping down then. Let's go. Just go across this col and then up, up, up. Look at this lava tower up here. That's mad. Oh, we go along there, do we? Okay, that's cool. Chain. No problem. Just gigantic slip down the side. Not gonna happen today though. Okay, here we go. Arguably more of a hazard. I mean, this is going to be some of the most epic mountain walking I've ever done. Bearing in mind the mountain is actually a volcano that is unstable, but still, I'm just getting slightly wobbly legs, which is very unusual for me. And then up a gully. Maybe I will use the chain now actually. Oh crap. Useful. Very useful. I don't trust this thing. Wish I'd had a bit of a warning. Sticks in the way. There's some big steps for all 5'7" of me. Just hang here for a second. Thing is as well, it's not worth grabbing the rocks because they're not attached to each other very well. There we go. Good. Whew. That was a bit gnarly. Super cool though. Nice. Whew. Upwards. Awesome. Still on the right path then. Good to know because I was a little unsure from the sign down there. we're on yellow now. And it was all yellow. So it's really weird because suddenly the air is warm. Once we reached that col, it just got warm. Then I realised what was happening. The ground is warm. And I can see up here steam coming out from the rocks. We're on the volcano. This is very unnatural, I'll tell you. Ah, see, the angle has changed a bit. The light is reflecting on it. The steam. I don't really want to touch the rock if it's steaming. Can you see that? Yeah, I think you can. Alright, keep moving. Oops. Yeah. Geez, I can feel that heat. That's mad. So, what do you do for a living? Oh, well, I just climb passively active volcanoes. Oh, that sounds fun. Is it dangerous? No idea. Completely naive. Ignorance is bliss.
These steaming mounds of blackness were lava falls, and they both fascinated me and freaked me out all at once. Let's just say, walking through this region was an exhilarating experience, and one I certainly won't forget in a hurry.
Ah, you're going. Another sign. What have we got here then? 3.3. Oh, I guess 3.1. Climbing slow, eh? Nice. Man, look at this. All these lava falls just amassing in front of us. I guess we're going to be walking through some of that. So whilst the ash cloud from U15 spread arguably worldwide in terms of its impact at least, this is the ash that would have fallen in 2010. Man, that is a weird feeling. I mean, for me, you know how it goes, man. Like, you know you're getting old when everything's like, oh, geez, that happened 12 years ago. Like, even I can say that now, and I'm 26. But still, it's just so bizarre. I can't get my head around it. So bizarre. And then who's like, oh, let's just go walk over that volcano. So this peak and this peak, although potentially this peak, which is really bad navigation, are basically Thor's sons. So we've walked through Thor's forest, and up here these peaks are named after two of Thor's sons. I should probably just get the map out and check which ones it is though. There we go, Magni and Modi. Oh geez, here's some pictures. Craters were formed in the eruption 20th of March 2010. Produced 300 meters volcanic fissure with a number of craters, and the course of the eruption activity became exclusive to one point in the fissure, forming the crater Magni. Force of the eruption began to decrease after a week, and volcanic activity ceased by the 8th of April. Magni was 82 meters high. Jeez. And that's just more information about it. Yep, it's warm. It's happened twice now that we've heard a massive avalanche situation. The ice breaking off the face of the glacier. I haven't seen it happen, but oh my gosh, the roar of it is quite bone-chilling.
Despite my lucking out with the weather, it's worth noting that we as hikers are advised to advance with caution throughout this region, as fumaroles can sometimes open up unexpectedly. No one wants to be a boiled chicken now, do they?
Good to see a sign. Skógar. Yeah. And just there on the horizon on the other side of this snowfield, past the steaming field of steam, is the hut. You can see it on the horizon. Yes! And another sign. What's that? I mean, I'm guessing you can just carry on that way, but I want to go to the hut, so I'm going this way. Okay, so that's weird. I've just noticed there's actually another hut up here, which I did not expect. So I actually have to continue onwards, and the next hut is still a bit of a walk. Well, a kilometre, isn't it? Huh. That sign's not quite accurate. It's twisted around. I'm not going to mess with it, but well, let's just see, eh? So we've just come from the left, and I'm now going to take the right because this is where I want to go. It's over there somewhere. Wow, that's going to be a big drop. So it looks like we actually have to cut across and up this part of the glacier. Man, this is a pretty epic experience. This is actually a bit steep. Oh man. Confidence rope, anyone? I mean, maybe this is the answer because it's kind of happening now. Oh, hey, sorry about that. I want to get over there. Great, covered in ash. Beautiful. Man, this is steep. Do you know what? Maybe a bum shuffle is going to be the answer, because sometimes it is actually. This is from someone who doesn't mind steep slopes. Jeez. Wow. That was gnarly. Alright, cool. The rest I can do. I think it's a bit like bog hopping, steep slopes. Sometimes it is best just to bum shuffle, just like sometimes it's best just to get wet feet. Then down the glacier and back up the glacier, all in a normal day in the mountains. Sorry, are you okay? Oops. Whoa. Oh. Okay. Glacier. Can you hear that? There's running water underneath us. Don't want to break through. Nice and light now, people.
Before I ran away from the dodgy ice, I noticed a collection of cinder piles, thought to occur when ash insulates snow and ice beneath, so that on sunnier days it's protected, whereas around it melts away.
This is not quite as bad as it looked from over there. It's not that steep. Coming down was worse. I'm on a glacier, man. bonkers. Completely bonkers. There's the hut just up there. Oh, buzzing. Here we go. The hut. Oh man, look at this place. Hey, yes. That's what I want to see. Stuff. Hey. Is it open? Yes, it is. Hi. Oh, doggy. Hi, doggy. Oh. How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
Good. Are you the warden here?
Yeah.
This is incredible. What a cool job you have. Also, I haven't seen a dog in a long time, so that's very nice for me. Hi, doggy. You have a very cool little house in the summer.
Okay.
Alright, I'm at the hut. Oh, that was enough, wasn't it? I'm at the hut and I just got myself a Pepsi. Just for that sugar kick. I didn't get my full coffee this morning, so this happens maybe once a year. Today is the day. Oh, I'm so unused to fizzy drinks. Sorry.
The hut was an unusual place, and it is possible to camp here, just don't expect to see anything. Apparently, I was insanely lucky with the weather on my trip. From here though, it was all downhill to Skógar. This was my turning point.
Alright, heading away from the hut onto the 4x4 track, and I can follow this now for about 4.5 k. Then we get onto a footpath, and then the real second half of this adventure begins. Oh, I can't wait. Also, you see ahead, look, clouds are definitely just playing around. Incredible views of the glacier. Hi. So the route up from Skógar to the hut is a very popular day walk, just up and down, because of everything we're going to see on the way. So interestingly, there's quite heavy traffic heading up now, and I do expect to see plenty more people along the way, because we're heading into day walking territory and back down into civilization actually. Skogar 9.8, easy peasy. We have a dog. I love dogs. Hi, doggy. Hi. Listen, so I'm like polite when people go past and I say hello, and you know, multi-day hikers I stop and have a chat with. Dog comes past and I'm totally different. Oh man, missing my dog right now. Traveling. Pros and cons to everything, eh?
Whilst I knew there was some seriously epic scenery to come, I still kept my eyes sharp on the lands around me. And that's when I spotted a family of ptarmigan, a hardy bird that feeds off shoots, leaves, berries and insects. And, in my opinion, were really rather cute.
You know, yesterday was such a whirlwind, sort of arriving at camp, getting myself sorted, getting to sleep as quickly as possible. I just really wasn't able to digest where I actually was and what I've achieved. But now that we're on this descent, and I think that ascent there was really looming over me, and I knew it, but I just had to get into it, and it's done. It's all downhill from here, literally, and I feel like I'm finally feeling that sense of accomplishment that's come from completing a trail. The Laugavegur is behind me, the pass up and over to Skógar is behind me. It's surreal, really. It's one thing to dream something up, it's another to actually crack on and do it. And now we're in a landscape with the mist coming in actually, but never mind. That just is making me feel incredibly alive. That's really how I feel right now. It's just totally, completely alive. Alright, so just heading off the path to the edge of the path, and this is what we're going to see a lot more of. Waterfalls, people! Just like that. That's where we've come from, so that's how far we've done. That's where we're going, that's what we've got left. Happy days. And here's the bridge over a waterfall from the sounds of it. Alright, let's try not to drop anything. Oh man, that's sketchy. Sometimes things feel easier than others, and I have to say, crossing the big waterfalls, you put a lot of faith in those bridges. Feels weird. Right, now we're just following the river. Hey, hey, hey. Thanks, bridge, for saving my life. That's one serious drop off. Oh mate. Rain's coming in. Might actually seriously have to put waterproofs on. Let's just see, shall we? This is actually heavy enough to warrant putting the hat away. Typical as we get close to the coast here. Stay safe in there, my friend. Alright, let's go. Dude, I seriously lucked out earlier. I wasn't going to comment on the weather. I just wasn't going to allow it. I'm so happy. Right now, I got over the pass in the sunshine. Man, I'm completely winning today. Skogar 4.8. Fabulous. Not bad, is it? Wow, look at that gorge, man. That is so crazy. Check it out, people. The rain has eased off. Straight away, I'm like, boom, out of waterproofs. I didn't bother putting trousers on, waterproof trousers, don't be naughty. Because I was like, come on, it's Iceland. Wait 15 minutes and it'll change. Arguably, it was an hour, but the weather has changed. Almost sunshine. I was gonna shout sunshine and it's like, no, it's really not sunshine yet. Well, there it is, folks. The Atlantic. That is where all of this water is heading, to the ocean. And right there are the lowlands, and we have travelled from the highlands through the mountains down to the lowlands. I mean, if that's not a fulfilling experience, I don't know what is. These 4 days have been so much more than I ever dreamt that they could be. From the Laugavegur to this additional day, even though we've had a little bit of rain, it has just been one phenomenal experience after the other. You know, I think I'm unashamed to say that I've got a bit of a problem. I am completely and utterly enthralled by the power of nature, and on this trail I've witnessed it in a way that I think I never have before. It has been completely otherworldly. If it's going to feel weird getting back down to civilization, it always takes me a bit of time to adjust, and I feel sadness in my heart right now, but also just gratitude. That's what I'm leaning on. That's my stick, is gratitude. I'm just so grateful for my body that's carried me through the mountains down to here, and for everything I've been able to see and experience. It's such a tactile 3D experience, from the breeze on my face to the river rushing over my feet, sitting in my little tent cocooned by the mountains and the snow. It's home, man, it's home. So let's get down to Skógar. There's one last surprise in store for us there. I'll show you what I'm talking about when I get there. Right, I'm definitely hoping I can get a cup of tea there. I'm so English. You can always tell when another waterfall is coming up because you can see the spray. Here we go.
As I moved closer to Skógar, various falls started to get name plaques. Not that I could pronounce any of them, but it was a nice gesture.
Actually looks like there's some restoration work going on up here. Big job, big job. I mean, I guess the problem is the same the world round. How to allow people to access nature, which is quite literally life-saving, but then also protect nature. Sometimes it's literally a full-on ban, other times it's permits, other times it's different user times. I mean, it's endless, the options and that are available for national parks and nature reserves, countryside access teams. Everyone's different.
It was here that I got up close and personal with some rather nice Icelandic sheep, thought to have been introduced by the Vikings in the late 9th, early 10th centuries. They are renowned for being able to survive in the most harsh of weather conditions, and like goats, can be found in some pretty strange places. A short while on, I stopped for a last breathing break, munching on my outdoor provisions nut butter sachet as I took it all in. Iceland. I was in Iceland. I just couldn't quite believe it.
Well, here we go then, this is us. I can see the crowds of people. That's the surprise that we're heading towards. Not the crowd of people, because that's really not a surprise. Jeez, now that's a drop. Well, my friends, I've had to put on a waterproof to show you what I'm talking about, but this is it. This is what we've been walking for. Not the rivers and the mountains and the moss and the volcanoes. No, none of that awesomeness. This, just a 60-meter high waterfall This is Skógarfoss, and it's here at Skógar. Oh man, the force of this thing is absolutely immense. But you know, this is it. This is the power of nature right here. This symbol. And really, you know, that is my message, that nature has the power to heal. As somebody who deals with mental health and chronic pain, I have so many obstacles to get through in order to get to a place like this. But my motto is I'd rather be in pain doing something than in pain doing nothing. And so if I can just get myself out of the house, I get to come to places like this and share them with you. And you know, this trail has so immensely surpassed any hopes and expectations I could have had. The Laugavegur and the additional leg over to Skógar, just the most incredible landscapes, literally otherworldly. And you know, if you can get yourself to this place, do it, but if you can't, it doesn't matter, because nature is everywhere and we are a part of nature. And simply by getting up and getting out, that is where the magic happens. Tap into the seasons, sit by a river, look at a tree, feel the power around you, because it's everywhere. And it's our job to get out and to protect it as well. So this is where my journey ends, but I want to say thank you so much for watching. It has been a real privilege to share this journey with you and have you guys along with me by my side. Just makes me feel a little bit stronger and a little bit braver. So thank you for being my community. Until next time, enjoy your adventures and stay wild. I'll see you soon. Bye. Also, apparently shouting over this thing is making my voice break.
Your beliefs determine your destiny. It had taken me many years of dreaming to get to this particular point on Earth, stood in front of a massive waterfall with the Laugavegur behind me. And yet, despite the setbacks and the delays and the fears, I believe that you can never get stronger if you only do easy things. So, when times do get hard, when you face the inevitable faceplants, and when you feel like you're running out of steam, remember this. You can't lose if you replace fear with curiosity. When you take it slow, one small step at a time, and when you know that it's about progression, not perfection. There are no shortcuts to a life worth living. So keep showing up, and no matter what your dreams are, be that person who never, ever, ever gives up.
Eyjafjallajökull.
Eyjafjallajökull.
Eyjafjallajökull. Eyjafjallajökull.
No, Eyjafjallajökull.
Eyjafjallajökull.
Falafel.
Eyjafjallajökull. Eyjafjallajökull.
Falafel. It's just a falafel mountain.
Eyjafjallajökull.
My Icelandic is, well, I'll keep working on it.